So System9, we're the market-making solution for the DeFi landscape. So the problem generally in crypto markets, if any of you have ever gotten the chance to look around or try to actually get involved in the transactions at all, you know that they're, for the most part, illiquid. There's a ton of slippage. They're quite inefficient. And the solution for that comes in the form of market making, which I'll get into in just a moment. But for a little bit of background, most market makers in the crypto space charge very large monthly fees that make it impossible for token projects or for exchanges in general to actually bear those costs for more than a few months at a time. And so generally speaking, the majority of the time whenever crypto projects lose all of their funding or can't afford market making anymore, it's generally because of those large monthly fees. And most exchanges and token projects are quite dissatisfied as well with their market makers. We actually polled something like 25 exchanges and token projects and couldn't find one that was satisfied or happy with their market maker. So we were quite surprised by that. So what is market making really, if you're not familiar? Market making is about tightening the bid-ask spread between exchange costs and ordered prices and whatnot between on order books. And so here's an example of how market making actually looks. As you can see, there's a $200 spread here. Organic trade can't occur in markets like this whenever the bid-ask spread is this wide. So you can see here, through something called the mesh market maker that we have intellectual property on, both trade secrets and patents, we have been able to cut the bid-ask spread significantly and actually allow organic trading to occur. Market making in general is a very old industry, but we're sort of taking a modern approach on it. So in traditional markets, like for example, getting listed on the NASDAQ, you are legally required to have at least 3 market makers on hire for more than 95% uptime. This is very common on pretty much every major stock exchange that requires something like this. So this is a very regulated industry. It actually is one of the few industries in crypto where we can actually help and assist in the regulatory process by improving that liquidity. We make it easier for regulators to actually enter the market and improve liquidity and all of that, for especially on the institutional side. For getting larger investors in the space, this is quite important. So there's no transparency as well in trading for clients. That's sort of like one of the biggest complaints we heard whenever we got started, was that there was no transparency into any of the trading activities being performed by market makers or by existing market makers. And so we figured we'd solve that problem pretty directly. So the solution is DeFi-inspired market making by crypto experts and trading experts, based a lot on a SaaS model and a SaaS platform model. Given my and the CEO's background for our pricing models, and the goal being to assist in the regulatory process and the regulatory environment in crypto, and be in general the transparent, friendly market maker that we sort of haven't been able to find in the space. So the DeFi philosophy and how it actually applies is we pay our clients, not the other way around, with a market making as a service business model where customers, token projects, exchanges use their own accounts and we trade on API keys, never taking custody of funds and ensuring that we have and that our clients have full transparency into all market making activities. They get to see every trade we ever make. They can do their own research on it and validate that everything we're doing is legitimate, as well as the fact that we provide monthly liquidity reports on everything we're doing for them as well. And so a little bit of background for our team: our CEO, Peter Sokola, who can't make it because he's under the weather. He was the youngest ever member of the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, where he was an options market maker for 18 years. Our Chief Risk Officer, Matt Shellhaus, who just completed his CMT Level 3 certification and was a VP of Finance at a FINRA broker-dealer. Ryan Gray, who is a real veteran of the crypto industry. He's been involved in the majority of the DeFi projects in the EOS space going back all the way to 2012, especially in the DeFi space. And myself, I created a steel company and sold it to a family office last year, and moved into crypto once I'd met Pete, Ryan, and Matt and Noah. Noah's our CTO as well. He's a full ride scholar at Purdue. Rock star overall, the whole team is really. And our future milestones in general are partnerships with proprietary trading groups. We want to grow out the quant fund side of things, as well as continue growing our market making contracts and size. as well as include machine learning and AI optimization into the process as well. We're also looking at expanding into traditional market making as well. And that is all. Thank you so much.